there was a brawl in Anaheim between the Mariners and the Angels, and Brad is not only well versed in the situation, but he's also heavily opinionated. He's going to give us a breakdown of what happened, why it's important, and why you should either care or not. Ready to go, Brad?
Okay, first off, I have to say that calling this thing a brawl is 100% accurate, because when you think of a brawl, like when I think of a brawl, I just think of like a mess, right? A mess of people.
Yeah.
And actual punches being thrown, and there were actual punches being thrown. Okay?
This was a straight up Donnybrook. Yeah.
Straight up Donnybrook. Yes, very much so. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm just gonna lead with this part. The Angels set this whole thing up. They set the Mariners up 1,000%. Okay, so this goes into this. This happened on Sunday. It all started Saturday night. Okay, in the bottom of the ninth inning, Eric Swanson comes in to close the game out. It's 5-3 in the bottom of the ninth. The Mariners are winning. Comes in to close this thing out, and Mike Trout took exception with the fact that a pitch went near his head. Now, the Angels thought that it was intentional. However, if you look at context, it absolutely was not, because Swanson's fastball was up out of the zone to everybody he pitched to. Like he walked David McKinnon on 6 pitches. All 4 balls were up and out of the zone. Every single one of them. And it wasn't like they were all at his head. It was one was in, one was middle high, one was outside high, and the outside corner high, and the other one was outside high. Like it was just like straight across in the exact same spot, about eye level. Okay. Same thing happened to Tyler Wade. Tyler Wade made the first out of the inning. He had a ball way up out of the zone. Okay, so now you've got McKinnon on first base, right? And then on an 0-1 count, Swanson goes up and in on Trout, unintentionally, obviously, because he's been missing up the entire inning. Wild pitch, McKinnon goes to second, and the Mariners just decide, first base is open, we've got 2 outs. Let's let him come on. I missed the other out, but that doesn't matter. Put him on, that we have a force at every base to get the third out in the game, and helps our odds with Shohei Ohtani. You're not going to pitch around a guy to get to Shohei Ohtani as the winning run.
No way.
Right? I would way rather pitch to Trout as the tying run. Okay?
Yes.
So they're not trying to hit him. It's obvious. You look at the context there, not trying to hit Mike Trout. Well, he took exception to this, and he actually said something about it after the game. I got to pull up the quote here real quick. He said, if you can't pitch inside, don't pitch inside. If you're going to hit me in the ribs. Don't hit me in the head. Yeah, well, does that apply to your guy Michael Lorenzen after he hit Justin Upton in the head last week? And now, I know that wasn't intentional, because Upton is still friends with a lot of guys in that clubhouse, right? He was there just in spring training. But at the same time, if Lorenzen can't pitch inside, should he not be pitching inside?
Double-edged sword, maybe. Double standard. Right?
A double standard there, right? It's very Justin Verlander-esque, if you ask me. But anyway, so things come. So let's go to Sunday. All right. The Angels announce that their starter, Julio Suarez, was going to be starting the game. About an hour before first pitch, they say, no, we're going to go with an opener Andrew Wantz. Okay, Brig. Do you know if Andrew Wantz has ever started a game in his life?
Nope. I don't even know who that is.
Major league career, has never started a game. He is a reliever. This was his first start.
Okay.
The setup begins. Okay.
If I can see where you're going. Okay.
So first inning, he pitches to J.P. Crawford, gets him out. Julio Rodriguez is batting second right now for the Mariners with Ty France out.
Yeah.
Throws behind Julio's head. Warning, both dugouts from the umpire. That's what you need. Should be the end of it. Okay.
Done.
Yep. Julio gets out. Gino Suarez gets out. That's the end of the first inning. Well, Jesse Winker comes up, first batter of the second inning. First pitch, Brig. First pitch. Drills him right in the hip. That is 1,000% intentional. Okay, now this is where the umpires come in with this.
In the middle.
This is where the umpires come with this. They've already warned both dugouts. The umpire did not get out there and throw Wantz out like he should have.
Right.
And real quick, sidebar, Suarez was already warming up at the bullpen. Okay. Okay. So umpire does not come out and throw out once right away. If he had thrown him out, that would have diffused the situation immediately. Winker was headed to first base, but then you see him look over to the Angels dugout and somebody's chirping at him, right? Turns out it was Anthony Rendon. As soon as he got hit, starts chirping at Winker. And so Winker's not going to take that. Genuine tough guy, Jesse Winker, charges the Angels.
Looks the part and everything. Yeah.
Yes. The dude's from Buffalo. I mean, come on. He's like country strong. But anyway. So Winker goes toward the Angels dugout, and Brig, he is met with Anthony Rendon, who is injured, 3 coaches, and a pitcher. Nobody of any consequence greets Jesse Winker when he gets to that dugout. Right. Tell me that was not set up. It was absolutely, okay, we're going to drill Winker. We're going to bait him. He's going to come over. We can't have anybody important getting suspended. So,
or hurt.
Set up, or hurt. Set up a wall. Right?
Like a pick move.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what it was. So they go in. It took like 20 minutes to get the whole thing sorted out. And the thing that's crazy is
it was a long time.
I watched about 45 minutes of this game total because it was on during my Sunday afternoon nap time. Don't want to interrupt that nap time.
No, it's important.
And I saw the whole thing. Like I turned it on. It happened like 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa, wait, what? So I saw the whole brawl, saw everything that happened. And I was actually quite upset because I saw people pulling Julio Rodriguez out of the fray. I was like, okay, we can lose Winker. Crawford is obviously getting tossed because you could see him jumping and throwing punches down on whoever was on Winker.
Yeah.
So he's gone. I was like, if Julio gets tossed, there's no way the Mariners are winning this game. No chance. And sure enough, he got tossed, ended up losing the game 2-1. And so that was really frustrating. I would have loved to have seen the Mariners win that game, but it didn't work out. But so let's go through the suspensions. There were suspensions handed down tonight, like
of course,
an hour before,
like an hour ago.
2 hours before. Yeah, really recently. So first off, Angels interim manager Phil Nevin. And first off, Brig, while I get into these, keep track of the roles of every player for the Angels here. Okay, so Nevin got 10 games because he obviously orchestrated the whole thing. So the man who puts out the hit is going to get the harshest punishment.
Yep.
Jesse Winker got 7 games. I'm assuming he was going to get 5, but he got an extra game for each bird that he threw into the fan or into the stands. Right? He had eventually apologized to the women and children, which I thought was really funny.
That's pretty funny.
Good move, but it was really
good
funny.
Move. Yeah.
But Anthony Rendon, who was injured, Dom Cheedy, who is the bullpen coach, Andrew Wantz was the pitcher, who the perpetrator, right?
Yeah.
And JP Crawford all got 5 games. An injured player, a bullpen coach, and a reliever.
Yep.
And then you've got
the
Ryan
opener.
Tepera.
Excuse me.
The opener. Sorry.
The last minute opener.
Yes. Ryan Tepera, pitcher, got 3 games.
Yep.
Oops, sorry. Ray Montgomery, bench coach, Manny Del Campo, bullpen catcher, and Rizel Iglesias, pitcher. And those seeds didn't do anything to deserve that, by the way. I don't know. That was out of hand. That was uncalled for. I'm going to apologize on behalf of all sunflower seeds in the world. They all got 2 games. And then you've got Bill Hazelman, who was another coach on the Angels staff, got 1 game. Come on.
Literally,
Mike Trout,
nobody.
Mike Trout, Jared Walsh, Shohei Ohtani are standing 10 feet out from the fracas.
Yep.
Not involved at all because I'm sure they were told, stay back, do not get involved.
Yep.
All set up, all orchestrated by Nevin. I don't know that 10 games is enough, to be completely honest with you.
It's pretty interesting.
Unreal.
It's unreal.
These teams are going to play each other again in a few weeks in Seattle, and I'm curious what's going to happen. That's going to be a must-watch series, especially with a doubleheader.
because that's when tempers really get going.
Yeah.
People are tired. It's been a long, first of all, long day. But, okay, I got to read this thing you sent me. This is from lookoutlanding.com. Do you know who wrote this?
I don't know like who the writer was, but Lookout Landing is the Mariners SB Nation page.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
okay.
a fan writing this. This is not a
Thank you.
professional journalist. It's a fan.
But it's pretty fun. So I'm just going to read it.
It is fun.
It says, I'll end with this. The Anaheim Angels have wasted the primes of two most generational talents in decades. They lost an epic 14 games in a row earlier this season. They've chosen to channel their frustrations into inventing perceived slights and attempting to injure other professionals. If their club was a ship, the organizational rot present in Anaheim would have condemned the vessel long ago. They are cowards, plain and simple, and there is no place for such cowardice in Major League Baseball. Now, baseball family, if you're the one that wrote that, we need to hear from you because that was exceptionally well worded.
It was. I loved every bit of it. And here's the thing, Brig. I've talked in the past about how I considered jumping ship and going to be an Angels fan because my wife is an Angels fan, right?
You have said that.
I've said that a number of times. But after this weekend, I'm like, nope, never. I will never, ever, ever, because the setup, everything orchestrated by Phil Nevin, like don't get me wrong, we all love a good baseball fight. I hate having to explain it to my 7-year-old because when you do, it's like, well, that sounds really stupid and not really entertaining. But at the same time, though, like the way that this was set up for the Mariner and like baited the Mariners, like yes, they should have been better, and Winker probably should have just gone to first base. But at the same time,
gone to first base. That's what I was going to say. Yep.
And he even said too. He said today, if they had thrown out the pitcher right away, I'd have gone to first base. If they had, if it had stopped with Julio, I'd have gone to first base. If there hadn't been chirping from the dugout, I'd have gone to first base.
Perfect storm, though.
It is, because none of those things happened.
Right. And none of them, well, that's interesting.
And I think if it hadn't been the first pitch of the at-bat, he would have gone to first base too. But that's just me. I think if it had maybe been the third or the fourth pitch and it had been like a 1-2 count and they hit him, I don't think this would have happened.
But it was like, hey, buddy. Okay, see ya.
Yeah, exactly right. And the thing that I thought was crazy too was I saw a picture of Jesse Winker when he came out of the brawl, and like his neck was scratched up. He had bruises all over his face already, everything. And Luis Torrens is not in the lineup tonight because he hurt his shoulder. I made the joke that he probably was swinging and missing while he was in the brawl because that's what he does.
That's awesome. Well, thanks, Brad, for jumping on your gilded soapbox and letting us know what you think happened there in Anaheim.